everybody. Welcome back to Minus 20. I'm Jay, your game master. This Minus 20 podcast. I'm here, hopefully, with people who have developed their catchphrases, playing this game, our homebrew Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Vigilante. Diana, what's your catchphrase?
Okay, well, now it's in my head. Kira. I'm Diana. I play Kira.
You don't have to have catchphrases, everybody. I'm sort of just
No, we'll
kidding at
have
this point.
one.
Okay.
Just give us time. They
Nate?
come naturally.
Yes. Nate.
Hi, that's me. I play Shepard, and he has yet to have a catchphrase just yet, other than "old man grumbling."
Old man grumbling. I like that one.
James playing Bill Poncho, less use for life.
Cheese for life.
John playing Marth. Hi, I'm John. That's a catchphrase, right? Say it every episode.
You're the only one who says it in this game, so it's automatically your catchphrase. I'm Holly. I don't have a catchphrase, but if you ask my kids, they would probably say that my catchphrase is, "It is what it is."
So interesting that my catchphrase is probably "Hi, everybody." I used to say that a lot. Like whenever I would go in a room, I'd be like, "Hi, everybody." You know, so people are like, that's Jay's catchphrase. So that's it. It's what I open the podcast with every day. It is my catchphrase. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Minus 20 podcast. I guess we should get into the game, but before we do, I must give out hero point as I do at the beginning of each session. This is a tough one today. I think I'm going to go with Shep.
What did I do to deserve it?
Shepard, you're just a solid guy.
Oh,
I think we have found our moral center of this campaign, along with Marth, but Shepard's complete, sacrifice to service of others is an admirable, if perhaps inconvenient, trait. So, kudos to you. I think everyone's doing amazing. I'm loving listening to you guys bring out your characters to life, and among them, Shepard. He's just fantastic. So, last time we left Shepard and his buddies was, a couple of them. I guess Marth and Bo Poncho are in Triangle Square, opposite, nearby the burned ruins of Jacobson's Cakes. Across the street from the tavern, the room in the pillar where a large fight has taken place. Something or someone is disturbing the crowd inside this tavern, and you may suspect it is the notorious pickpocket, Fingers McNab. Let us not linger on this scene. Instead, let us travel across Triangle Park. Let us travel across Triangle Square to a small cottage house on the north side of the square, and to a room where we find our kitsune in human form, Kira form, lying on her bed with a music box.
After some time, Kira would open up the letter that Liam's mom gave her, and I'm guessing it's the poem.
It's the poem.
It's the poem that Kira wrote.
Is this a good time to reveal it to the world, or
do you
should
want
we
to?
sit on it for a little while? Yeah, perhaps you read it to yourself. So let's hear it.
Okay. Kira opens it, and she's reading it and starting the music box over again. So the letter says, "Dearest Liam, the sun is shining in my window, or maybe it's just shining in my heart. The butterflies I feel when we're together are absent when we are apart. One day we can leave this town together, find a place to live far, far away. But for now, I will save every copper, dreaming and hoping for that sweet day. Everyone thinks we're just children, that we don't know what life has in store. One thing I do know for certain, we're in love. I feel it in my core. Forever yours, Kira." And there's a speckle of blood that's soaked through from the outside in. And she folds it up and puts it under her pillow. And almost as if like all the tears have been cried, she gets this sense of clarity. You know, the sorrow isn't even there anymore. It's just this numb purpose. And she closes the music box and sets it to the side. And her mind starts racing, and she's looking around her room frantically, darting. She pulls the armor out from under her bed. And typically she would leave her room in human form, but she's not thinking very clearly. And she transforms back into her kitsune form, puts on her armor, climbs out her window, and starts running towards Jacobson's Cake to see what she can see there.
So you make your way over. The streets are pretty well deserted until you have to cross Triangle Square, but it's pretty much deserted until you grow closer to where Jacobson's Cakes was. And for the first time since the night before, It's only the previous night that you were there with the flames lighting up everything. You see ruins, city ruins. People aren't so much gathered around the ruins, although there are some walking by and looking. But you see now the crowd has moved over to the room in the pillar down the street a bit.
Although it's foolish, Kira can't stop herself from walking towards where she knew the battle took place. And she is going to kind of look around almost like a just curious bystander. But what she's trying to find is evidence of where he could have fallen. And she's desperately looking for proof that she wasn't the one who killed him.
What do you want to use to do this?
She would like to use perception check. I have a on the case class feature, so it lets me pursue a lead and clue in. So I'd like to use that and have it help me.
Okay.
So the clue in says I'm confused at how this works because it's talking about another creature. Because typically this would be if I'm like investigating and talking to a creature.
Oh, the clue in allows you to give your bonus for investigating a case to someone else.
Got it. So I can't use it on myself.
Yeah, but you also get a bonus for starting a case and beginning to investigate. So you get a +1 bonus to any check that you make, looking for evidence related to this case.
Okay. So I can roll my perception and add the +1.
Yep.
So I got a natural 20
Nice.
for a 26.
Oh,
It wasn't me.
goodness.
Tell me it wasn't me.
So you find the area where you killed the axe pretty easily. There's a big blood stain. In fact, there's probably even some clotted blood in the cobblestones where you killed this person. Just a reminder, this is, an amazing crit, because not only does Kira, when she uses her devise a stratagem skill, do her normal damage with the bow, she gets additional, not perception damage, what's it called?
Precision.
Precision
1d6.
damage. Thank you. Another 1d6 precision damage. So both the 1d6 arrow and the 1d6 precision are doubled, and then a deadly d10 on top of it, right? So in essence, you had 5 dice rolling, and you rolled, upper 20s as a first level character, which is a lot, and killed this axe with a single bow shot. As you go
Allegedly.
Allegedly. As you go up to the spot, you can find there's, with that natural 20, there's maybe something fell out, there's like the pouch where this axe fell, and you can see initials on it that are not Liam's. So who you killed was definitely not Liam.
Is that the equivalent of finding their ID?
Yeah, exactly.
Earlier you said all the bodies were already taken away.
Yes, they're all taken away.
Body with
It was
with
just,
the pouch.
it was no body, it was a pouch.
Pouch fell off of them.
Yeah.
I start breathing a little easier and having that reassurance. I kind of look around quickly to make sure I'm not drawing too much attention. I don't keep the pouch. I drop it back on the floor, and I just start retreating back towards across the way.
Yeah, as you come back, you see a couple of things. One, a familiar figure of someone you are supposed to be investigating. You see Serafina coming up the street. She appears not to have seen you yet, and is heading for a small group of people that are standing in Triangle Square. They appear to be breaking down a table, and things like that. Something is going on, and you glance over and you see among other people some familiar faces. You see Shepard, you see Bo Poncho.
I don't acknowledge them, but I do follow Serafina.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to know about Serafina?
Yeah. What is I have
We can close the case on the axe. If
thanks.
Yeah.
Do I see so I fought with her. We went into the sewers together. There's a lot that's been going on. So looking at Serafina as if I'm looking at her for the first time, is there anything I notice that stands out? What is she wearing? Do I see her with a bag? What would I think if I had no exposure to her?
I guess we'll punt that question to Holly.
Well, so Kira would already know that I'm a midwife.
That's right. Yeah.
And I have some healing capacity because of last night in the sewers. Do I have anything on me that would be of interest?
Are you wearing your studded leather?
Yeah,
armor?
I was just going to say you might clock that under my cloak, see like a little glimpse of black studded armor. At least the breastplate, which is new, but you wouldn't necessarily know that because you don't know me. But other than that, I think I'm really just focusing on helping, bringing stuff to treat injuries, and maybe, we had a little extra food left over from breakfast. So I'm bringing that to where Shep and the folks were setting up.
Cool. Do you approach them at all, or is that?
I kind of stay a couple feet away. I'm not trying to hide from them. If they see me, I'll acknowledge them subtly.
Yeah.
I'm mostly trying to stay in,
Discreet distance,
keep hidden from townsfolk so they don't see that all of a sudden we're hanging out.
Ah, got it. If, after all, you are known for one thing, it is
What?
your discretion.
Oh, Kira. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing catchphrase.
I mean, I guess that could
Yeah.
be your cool. What do the rest of you guys do as you see Serafina come up? And maybe, I don't know, maybe you clock that the kitsune is hovering nearby.
I sweat some bullets as I watch the kitsune go up to the crime scene specific area, looking at things, very emotional. You're like, oh my God, oh my God. But since, they walk away, I call them. Have we seen like the person go out the window yet?
Yeah. Maybe the fight has just started. Yeah.
I don't know. We definitely want to be working on figuring out what's going on with that. I think probably it would just start with like Marth's gonna go up to the person that just came out the window.
How you doing?
Are you all right? Like,
Yeah, it's just this dwarf, his face lacerated from the window, just rolling around, clearly well into his cups.
It's not the dwarf that Shepard keeps healing, is it?
No.
The one with the problems.
Oh no.
Tiny. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fancy meeting you here.
that's right.
Shepherd would.
Oh man, no, you probably should be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. He's got this empty flask rolls out of his
Yeah, because
finger.
you
the
just got a
silver one.
paycheck yesterday,
That's
right?
right.
Yes, Shepherd would. His eyes already following the kitsune walking up to the crime scene, and now seeing another one of our cohort approaching the tavern, having someone just sail through the window. He stops mid bandage on someone and says, I'll be right back. And he,
Apply pressure
yeah.
right here for a few minutes.
yeah, he stands up and subtly kind of rubs the stone on his signal stone necklace and whispers the words.
so I guess I'm sitting up this dwarf. But he's like, hey man, you all right? What?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on in there?
Oh man, I was just having a pot of. Some guy said I stole his purse. I said, did you look up your ass for it? Because that's where it probably is. And next thing I know, I'm out here.
That makes some sense, I guess. Hey, maybe just, future, don't bring up parts of people's anatomy when they think you've stolen something from them. I got some food over here. Maybe you should get something in your stomach other than what's in the flask there.
Oh, yeah. All right. What do you got?
Oh, come on over. We'll see.
So he limps over, probably still bleeding, clearly drunk. And as you get closer to the room and pillar, you can hear like loud, off-key singing, shouts. There's a fist fight going on in there. Things are really rowdy. The crowd is peaking on its energy, right? And they are pretty well drunk. People have been, ever since, they came down to see the scene of the crime from the night before, have been in their cups. And things are getting out of hand a little bit here.
I'm going to pull Sammy to the side and just be like, hey, apparently some famous pickpocket is said to be in town. And now
It's not Fingers McNab, is it?
I'm pretty sure that was the name. Something like that. Definitely had fingers in there. And now we've got people like getting thrown out the window across the street because purses have been nabbed. This could get ugly real quick. I mean, Oath Day after payday, that people are getting pretty lit pretty quick. Look, maybe we send some of our older kids that we brought with us here to just kind of keep an eye out. I mean, if there's anybody that knows how to see a pickpocket, it's an orphan.
All right. Great. I'll do that.
Great. I can work on getting this all cleaned up. Just let's see if we can figure out what's going on.
So you're using Sammy to check stuff out?
Kind of. I'm using Sammy to almost get like the McFadden's gang of like, hey, all these people, all these kids that we brought to help with the soup kitchen, I want you to filter out and be looking.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll a gather information check
Sure.
using Sammy. I'll let you get a +2 bonus on this roll. I believe gather information, that's usually an exploration activity. So it takes about an hour.
Okay.
And it is a diplomacy roll.
Okay.
So I need you to make me a diplomacy check with a +2 bonus to see if Sammy and her gang can get some information about what's going on in the tavern.
Do you want this to be blind?
Sure. Blind GM roll.
All right. I don't know how to add the +2, so you'll just have to assume that that's what's there.
Okay. I'll do it with my brain. All right. Does anyone else want to do anything in this hour after Marth has set these kids into the tavern? Nobody? Anybody? Surfing, you come up to the gang. Do you have anything to say to the group? Probably you'd be start packing up your, the soup kitchen's probably coming to a close as we approach early evening.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be. So we're within sight of the tavern, right?
Yeah, you're right across the street from essentially.
All right. So I'm keeping an eye on things while I pack up and kind of giving directions to some of the helpers, but I'm not really committing to anything at this point.
All right. So after about an hour, Sammy comes back. Marth, you won't believe what's going on in there.
Well, don't hold back. Tell me what's up.
Yeah, so the scuttlebutt is, the Axes invited Fingers to come back to town.
Wow.
Because people don't want to pay protection, they're going to, invite everybody back to town now to show them why they are paying protection.
So they're taking their ball and going home. Awesome. Well, we can't have that. This whole area will devolve into chaos.
Oh, it's even worse than that.
Well, what's worse than that?
I guess Fingers is stealing not just from people who have money, but from anybody. It's like they don't even care. Just I saw at least one guy who works down at the ironworks who I know barely has enough to put food on his table. His whole week's salary was taken.
Oh my God. We got to put a stop to this. We need to find this Fingers.
And Gus Broadfoot, the guy who owns the place, he is pissed.
Well, he's always pissed. But
the Axes used to be their place. Now he's mad, but he's not mad at the Axes. Check it out. He's mad at the people who killed the Axes. He's saying it's all their fault.
that sounds like a Gus kind of thing to do. I mean, where do you think all the Axes hang out during the day? But great. All right. So all the more reason. All right, just tell everybody to keep an eye out for this Fingers dude. Do we know anybody that has ever actually seen him?
I don't know. It was like a decade ago he left.
Man. All right, I'll see what I can figure out.
Oh, there's one other thing, Marth. You won't believe this. Broadfoot's put a bounty on the Vigilantes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's so mad. He said he'll pay 100 gold piece if anyone can give him identity of any of the Vigilantes. 100 gold piece. You know how much that is? Some of these people would kill each other for that much money.
Most of them, I would think, would. That's not good news. I mean, I don't know anything about them. What?
100 gold pieces. Wow, if I knew their name, I might give it over too.
You say that,
Think
but
how much we could feed the orphanage with for 100 gold.
Yeah, but for how long? If the Axes are abandoning the neighborhood?
Maybe if they catch the Vigilantes, they'll be back.
Maybe. I don't see that being really high on their priority list. They like to make examples. They don't like to fix problems. I mean, you've seen how much battle we've had to do.
No, sure. I don't even. I wouldn't really turn them in, of course. But that's a lot of money. Someone might.
All right.
I wonder who they are.
I don't know. Either somebody that was really brave or somebody that was really, really stupid. Or both.
Marth, help me pack up this crate here.
All right. Let's get this all taken care of.
Sammy bosses Marth around a little bit more, pack some stuff up. I assume Sammy would, and some of the workers of the orphanage would start carrying this stuff back.
Once
We can't do this every day,
I'm already putting out feelers, I'm going to see what I can do.
You should ask Boss Hatchet.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to ask a lot of him in the near future.
Okay.
All right, Sammy, I'll see you later. But then after they're leaving, I'm going to go over to the tavern where, Marth knows a lot of people and a lot of people are there. So he's going to start circulating, seeing what he can find out.
Sammy actually ever listened to anything that Martha's saying?
She listens to it all. She's just also doing other things.
Yeah, he filters it all out.
She's a very busy woman. Got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, so you poke your head into the room in the pillar. You see it's a very obviously busy and raucous night here. Most of the long tables and benches are filled with patrons, and the air with pipe smoke. There's a pleasant buzz of conversation, and you can see that there are several performers circulating the room, playing songs and instruments and juggling and doing sleight of hand tricks. And there are a number of card games going on at the tables. Basically, your typical night at the Room in the Pillar, with the exception of everything seems to be ratcheted up about 6 notches on the dial. People are well into their cups. There's a lot of angry talk going on.
I'm going to, be social, go into different like card games or drinks, just kind of, small talk stuff. But where I can, I'm going to see if I can get any kind of descriptors for Fingers, because it's been a decade. I don't know this dude. And then I know that Penn does investigating type stuff.
Yeah.
Before I go in, I'm going to use the cantrip message and, just briefly, like, Penn.
Yeah. What?
There's a famous pickpocket back in town that's causing trouble. The Axes are going to use that to rile things up against the Vigilantes. Can you see if you can find anything out about Fingers McNab?
Consider it done. I won't bill you this time. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to start walking around outside the bar and see if I can hear people talking. Well, I'm mostly looking for, you can tell when people are looking because they're excited and this is drama, yada, yada. But then I'm looking for the people who aren't impressed, who maybe are used to seeing this. It doesn't surprise them what's going on. And start working my way towards anybody that looks like that.
What I will say is that when you poke your head into the Room in the Pillar, you realize there's no way you can canvas this entire space on your own. Basically, that's me saying that we're about to enter a social encounter that needs the entire party, right? So one of you is not going to be able to crack this case. So right now, I have 2 people in the tower.
I quickly realize I can't do this by myself, and so I'm going to walk back out of the building. And Shepard already alerted us with the stone, right? You had said that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of look around to see if I see the rest of our party, because I'd imagine if one's here, maybe more are here.
Shepard would walk in the door, follow the rest of the party who has now entered the establishment, having bandaged up someone who just went through a window.
All right. We are going to do a social encounter. So the way this is going to happen is a little bit different than obviously combat and stuff. It's similar to the skill check challenge we already did, but slightly different. So I'm going to take you into the Room in Pillar. You can see in here there are a ton of tokens, right? And I'm going to say you guys come in and spread out and take a good look at the patrons. We're going to narrow down the suspects to 5. It takes you about an hour. Night is going, but there are 5 people who are a bit suspicious in this scene. And I'll point them out one by one and explain what's so suspicious about them. So the first one here and they're the only tokens that are labeled. And it's like, where's Waldo here in this thing? There's a ton of like repeated commoner tokens. And then we have unique tokens on this map, 5 of them that are labeled. So here we have the merchant. It's a human woman at the bar who seems to be talking to everyone. And also I should mention that none of you have ever seen any. They are completely brand new to you. All you know about Fingers, and as you circulate, you talk, nobody has ever seen Fingers. No one knows what Fingers looks like. It's a complete mystery. It's been, again, 10 years since Fingers came to the district, as far as you know. So the merchant is a woman hanging out at the bar, and she's very gregarious. She's talking to people, slapping them on the back, clearly making a lot of contact with people, and clearly working the crowd for some reason. That is one. You see the aristocrat. I call him the aristocrat. It's more like a gender fluid young man who is wearing clothes that you would find in the South Bank, not the docks area, but the financial district, upper class area across the way. So you would suspect that this person looks like they're from, some wealth on the South Bank. We talk a lot about the docks, but sort of off to the side, away from the docks, is the upper class area of the city. Bank managers, the specialty manufacturers, things like that. And this person is wearing wealthy clothing. Looks like they're slumming in the neighborhood, which sometimes happens. And they're playing cards. But what you did notice is as they're playing, they don't seem to be really interested in the game. Instead, they seem to be looking around a lot. Then here in the center of the map, we have the fidgety teen. This is a catfolk, tall, slender catfolk teen girl, woman / probably close to Kira's age.
She looks like an adult to me.
This person they are very clearly surreptitiously slinking around the room between the tables looking for something, but not talking to anybody or interacting with anybody. You also notice silver-haired elf sitting at a table by herself, intently watching the entire tavern, calling this person the Watcher. At one point, someone comes up to talk to her and she kind of just shoos them away. And then finally you have the performer. There's a goblin with a fiddle who is wandering the area, doing sleight of hand tricks and juggling. Maybe there's not much directly suspicious about this person, but they do seem to have a lot of opportunity to pickpocket the way they're working the crowd.
Oh, we're profiling goblins. I see.
Absolutely. So the way this is going to work is we're going to enter a round system. No need to roll initiative, but during each round, one of you can do some kind of skill check with one of the suspects. If you pass the skill check, you will learn something about them. And I've got these tables and we'll do a random die roll and see what you learn about them. Okay. Now, for the skills, you can use pretty much anything and up to and including conversation, society or diplomacy, or something like that. So you can engage these people in conversation. Maybe try to learn some information about them now. Any questions so far? Cool. All right, let's get started. Anyone would like to go first and talk to one of or examine or do some skill check around one of these suspects?
I'll go. I'm going to go over to the goblin.
Yeah.
And I would like to do a society check.
All right, let's roll the society. Are you going to talk with this person or just sort of watch
I'm gonna
how they interact?
Yeah, I'm going to small talk just about
Okay.
what they're doing, see how they answer, see if I pick up anything. Is this a blind roll?
No, we're just going to, it's a DC 15 check. So go ahead and
With my
roll.
modifier?
Yep.
Oh, nat 1. Wait, I can use my hero point.
You can use a hero
I'm
point.
going to do it.
So using a hero point, I think this may be the first time we used one in the game, right?
No.
Have we used
I
one
think
before?
we've used one before. Yeah.
Okay. But just a reminder
So
that
long ago.
it allows you to make a second roll, but you have to use the result. of
Ooh,
the
second
which
roll was a
is-
17 for a 24.
Oh, yeah. So this goblin, you come up to the goblin. Hey, you got a song you want to hear?
Do you know how to chase the rainbow?
Oh, yeah. Do I know how to chase? I know how to both chase the rainbow and play chase the rainbow.
Wonderful. Let's start with playing Chase the Rainbow. What brings you here?
Well, little coin, gonna make some coin playing for the people.
Go ahead and roll a d6. Let's see what you learn.
I got a 4.
Or as you are talking, you see him. There's like a little object on the table. Maybe I don't know, like a little, someone left maybe a copper on the table or something. And you see him sort of slide over to it and palm the copper in his hand like that. Just clearly an expert on sleight of hand.
Yeah. All right. Just making some friends here. Let me play that song for you. All right.
And he starts playing Chase a Rainbow. He's not half bad. So that is our first check.
I'll make my way over to the merchant, being a merchant myself.
All right. And you're going to talk to this person?
I'll start by engaging, like I'll walk over next to the merchant and then I'll talk to the bartender first.
Yeah.
And be like,
Hey, Mac, what do you have?
oh, I was more wondering who runs this establishment. I got a little extra wine this month I could offload if they needed some.
And he points a finger over his shoulder, and you see this halfling standing at the bar. You probably know who this is, Gus Broadfoot. He's got his arms crossed, and he's scowling. He's looking out over the crowd.
Yeah, I'll take a minute. I'm talking loud enough where
Yeah.
the merchant should be able to hear me.
Hey, so you sell wine?
Oh yeah. Kind of.
This is the merchant comes up to you. Well, that's great. Puts a hand on your shoulder. Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah. I love grapes, and I kind of point to my entirety of my face.
Yes, you do. That's so great. Wow.
I got your
what's-
grapes right here.
Wine merchant, huh? What kind of business? I mean, how much wine do you turn over usually in a quarter?
Oh, probably about 100 bottles in a quarter. Cause
Ooh, that's. Have you ever thought of moving it up to a higher volume?
what do you got in mind?
Oh, what I've got all sorts of plans for. This might be an interesting investment opportunity. Go ahead and roll me a d6. A 5. As you're talking with this woman, she's wearing. You can see she's wearing these robes that you wouldn't be surprised to find on a merchant. They're nice, They're colorful. They draw a little bit of attention. It's kind of like the suit, the fantasy suit, right, of Hammer City. But you look down at her feet, and her shoes don't match her outfit at all. They clearly are working people's boots. Yeah, no, I've got this is an excellent opportunity for the both of us. I've got some theories about upscaling small businesses here, and she'll, start going through this spiel on like distribution and all that stuff.
Oh, that all sounds wonderful. Do you have like a calling card, or how do people get a hold of you?
Oh, a calling card, sure. It's funny. They call me Vin, which I know in some parts of Dunia means wine.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, what a coincidence, huh? And she'll write down her name and just take a napkin, write down her name and an address and hand it to you. And let's end that there. So that's your round. You learned something. Oh, I forgot to have you roll. Well, forget it. We call that for free. That's fine. You got a free clue. This is like the concealment check, right? From the Axis battle. Sometimes you roll. Sometimes the GM forgets. Who's next? Who wants to? Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard will probably immediately key in on the Watcher over in the corner. As a lurker himself, he would most likely recognize that somebody else was sitting off to the side, kind of keeping eyes on other people, knowing that there is a thief afoot. Shepard might think that someone who's trying to be unnoticed and hanging off to the side, just watching others, is looking for opportunities.
Yeah.
So if he can, without necessarily directly engaging with the Watcher, he would just sit back and observe as other people may try to interact with them and attempt to sense motive.
Okay, yeah. So that would just be a simple perception check.
Need to make this secret.
No, it's a DC 15. You can roll it on the open.
Okay. It rolled it secret by default anyway.
I can tell you what that was. It was a 9 on the die for a 17, which is a success. So go ahead and roll me a D6. You kind of keep to the shadows and watch this Watcher.
A 3.
One thing you notice is she has a drink in front of her that she doesn't drink out of at all. It's just sitting there.
More for show.
Yeah. So you watch for, 15 minutes. She hasn't taken a sip. Her head is swiveling around, looking around this floor.
Can I tell if they are particularly focused on anyone else in the establishment, or are they just kind of watching everyone?
Not that you notice. It does seem to be a general scan of the room. Maybe she'll stop and linger on somebody and then swivel and then stop and linger on somebody else, but it's never one particular person.
Gotcha.
All right, who is next? Holly.
Okay, Serafina is going to go up to the aristocrat and say,
he's playing cards, snapping some cards down the table.
"Oh, excuse me, my gentle friend.
Oh, yes. Hello there.
I'm sorry to disturb you during your card game, but
No
you
problem.
seem very familiar to me, and I wondered,
Oh, I'm sure.
my father used to sell custom weapons and silversmiths
Yeah.
in the Fifth Ward. Were you ever a customer of his? You just seem so familiar to me."
All right, what would you like to roll for this?
I'll roll diplomacy,
All right, go ahead and make me that roll.
and this is blind.
No, you can do it out in the
Right
open.
out
It's
there.
all DC 15 checks here. It's similar to skill challenge. We don't really care that
Okay,
much.
that's a 9 on the die for a 16.
Nice. Go ahead and roll D6 and see what you learn about this aristocrat.
And that's a 4.
As you guys are, he's somewhat dismissive of. Oh, I'm sure. Perhaps I have known your father. What was his name?
His name was Corbin Lex.
Corbin Lex. What did he make?
A wide variety of custom weaponry, fine swords and rapiers, dabbled a little bit in armor.
Well, I'm not much of a fighting man. I'm more of a gambler.
However, as you're watching him play, you watch a couple of hands, and you see that he rarely bets beyond the ante and always folds early. Like, this is a game of poker. What that means is, maybe even get a glimpse at his cards at one hand. He has a pretty good hand. Clearly, he's not there for the game. And I believe we have one more for this first round. John,
Oh, hi.
what would Marth like to do?
Well, I guess we'll go for the teenager.
All right.
So Marth will approach, attempting to be subtle, like not making a beeline, but then from the side and talk to him with the you're being too nervous and it draws the attention to yourself. If
You say this to this person.
Mhm. whatever your mark you're looking at, you're not going to be able to get it without them making you unless you calm down a bit.
Good. What are you rolling for?
I'm
this?
going to go for a diplomacy.
Oh, what was
I
that?
rolled a 16 plus 7 for a 23.
Nice. Go ahead and roll me a d6. You did 3? I just need one d6.
I'm aware. That'd be a 1, sir.
She looks at you and scowls and she's constantly starts checking her pockets. Oh, forget it, Gramps. I'm not interested in what you're selling here. And then she turns and walks away. With that, let us halt there after you guys begin your investigation of these suspects, and we'll return to this social encounter next time on the Minus 20 podcast.